B Marsh Boxing, YouTube boxing fan pages. Let's talk about it. Whether it's on YouTube or in real life, one thing I desperately try not to do, and for the most part, I do accomplish my goals when it comes to this aspect of life. I don't try to be a hypocrite. YouTube, whether it's YouTube boxing shit, whether it's in real life, I cannot compromise my integrity. You know what I'm saying? I have nobody to please on this planet Earth except my daughter, myself, my family. You know what I mean? That about it. You check it. One thing, man, if you know B Marsh Boxing Channel, March Boxing Channel, I can't get into all them semantics. I can't get into the non-objectivity, and I cannot turn my page, my YouTube channel, just like the rest of my real life. I can't turn it into no fanboy or a fan page of any one boxer. You know what I mean? I can't compromise my integrity. That's out. I cannot do that. Simply because this is a platform here where I would want all boxing fans from all aspects, from all walks of life to come to. And for the most part, I do think the few people that who are subscribed to me, I do believe they come from all aspects of life. You know what I'm saying? I don't use the word demographics because look, I can look at my analytics over there on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up, B March Boxing. I could look at my analytics on YouTube and see where, how far my reach goes as far as speaking on this YouTube boxing shit. What different parts of the world people do tune in to listen to B March Boxing. That's all well and fine, you know what I'm saying? But one thing, I ain't gonna be talking about no demographics, isolating myself and or other boxing fans to basically put them in a box and put a label on them. Because that's what a lot of people on this YouTube boxing shit do, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm talking about. I cannot compromise my integrity. And objectivity will always be like a Libra scale. Even though I ain't a Libra, it's gonna be a balance. You know what I'm saying? There's always gonna be a balance. You know what I mean? When people come out here talking about Sergey Devrochenko versus Triple G was a robbery, when I hear that in the first two, if I just even see that in your title, I can't even listen to that shit because objectivity and common sense has been thrown out the window. When I tell you here on these YouTube streets, and there's very many avenues, it's a big city, very many different blocks, there's different crews, different factions, different sets. You know what I'm saying? There's a million and one channels. I personally don't go around looking for no boxing channels. If somebody recommends a channel to me, I'll give it a shot. And if it's official, I subscribe, no question about it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even going to go through a channel's history to see what they usually talk about. If from the first video I hear is official, man's talking sets, I'm on it. You know what I mean? I'm in there like swimwear. You know what I'm saying? If I do stumble upon a channel in my recommendation section or just, you know, on my YouTube feed and I don't know it and I listen to it and the joint's official, man, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna subscribe. I ain't stingy with subscribing to people's, you know what I mean? I'm subscribed to mad channels, you dig? You know what I'm saying? Fellas who do, and let me rephrase that. Even if I'm subscribed to some channels, I do hear the non-objectivity. I do hear the fanboy page mentality. You know what I'm saying? You know what a fan page is, right? Beyonce has a million and one fan pages. where her fans could be a big Beyonce fan sitting at their house, and all they do is post stuff about Beyonce, and it's just a fan page. It's not an official. They're not even getting no money officially from Beyonce or any other super entertainer who you may think about. We could even say LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? Just a massive celebrity. They're gonna have a fan page. Now some of these boxers that we do speak about here on YouTube, these fellas ain't even famous, you know what I'm saying? Real talk. You check it, fellas like Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford and the likes, they could walk down the street and there gonna be some people for the most part who ain't gonna recognize them. You know what I mean? But let these YouTube channels out here tell you, especially the way they be caping for these boxers, these fellas are more popular than Michael Jackson, you know what I'm saying? When I talk about these fan pages, like I said, there's different crews, avenues, sects, whatever you want to call it, on these YouTube streets, and there's some channels you already know before a fight starts. They've already filled out their scorecard. You know what I mean? There's a certain faction out here that hates Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? When this faction came on these YouTube streets, the only two conversations they can talk about is Terrence Crawford's better than Errol Spence, and Errol Spence is on steroids. Okay? Now, that particular faction out here, and there might be many more than one. I'm just talking about this particular one that I've heard from day one. I've seen their inception, I've seen their initiation on these YouTube streets. You know what I mean? They even used to come on our side of the street and talk this boxing shit. But like I said, there was only two topics that they could keep pace with. Terrence Crawford's better than Errol Spence. And there were some others that were on the opposing side. Errol Spence is better than Terrence Crawford, etc. And Errol Spence is on steroids. Now that fight Errol Spence had with Sean Porter, what you think? You think objectivity was going to play any role in these people's scorecards or their thought process or basically even their final thoughts about the fight? I knew it wouldn't. That's why there's even no point to even listen to these type of channels unless you want to laugh. You know what I mean, unless you do want to laugh, you want to find something comedic out of it, then by all means, you're going to find that straight up. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I do hear comedic shit, especially with hypocrisy. I hear people talking about Errol Spence lost that fight and it was a robbery to Sean Porter. Man, you're going to have to show me 7 rounds you can give to Sean Porter in that fight. Just show me 7 rounds, you know what I mean? You might be able to show me 6. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to show me 6. But 7 rounds, you're definitely reaching. Fellas had these scorecards filled out like that guy. What's his name? We got one judge. Is it Adelaide Bird? Or that other judge who judged it for Mayweather, who had that Mayweather Cannoli fight, who filled out their scorecard before the fight started. He already had it a draw. He gave Cannoli 6 rounds, and only managed to find 6 rounds that Floyd Mayweather won. These type of people also exist on these YouTube streets. You know what I mean? It's funny, man. Oh my gosh. See me, man. I'm glad, man. I got a backbone, man. I ain't a caterpillar. I ain't a snake, man. I don't crawl on my belly. You heard? You hear me? I don't do none of that shit, man. I stand on my own too. Stand on my square, 10 toes down. Man, after Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz, man, I heard fellas crying for a rematch. Swear to God, man. Fellas cried for a rematch. Fellas said Wilder got saved by the doctors. You know what I'm saying? They said Wilder was should have lost that fight. They said he actually lost that fight. Straight up. Shout out to Scorsese, man. Scorsese ain't around, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's my man's. But fellas said that the man Wilder lost that fight. Yeah. I asked him, yo, How did he lose the fight and he ain't even hit the canvas? I seen Luis Ortiz on his back and knees at least 3 times in that fight. Y'all talk about round 7. I got a video right here on my YouTube channel. You want it, you got it. They said Wilder lost that fight and he should have got knocked out in the 7th. The referee should have stopped it. All this type of bullshit, right? Now that the rematch has been announced, these same people are talking about nobody asked for this rematch. They said nobody asked for this rematch. That shit baffles me, word to God, man. That shit baffles me because these same people said that Wilder lost that fight and the referee saved him. We had endless debates on this type of shit. And these debates were just, in my opinion, pointless because at the end of the day, you got to reward somebody for not having their back on the canvas or on all 4 knees, shaking their head with spit coming out their mouth saying, no mas, which is exactly what Luis Ortiz did. Nah. They said Wilder lost that fight. You see, the fanboy page shit, you know what I'm saying? Now, a fanboy page doesn't necessarily have to be all in support of a particular fighter. Another fan page could be straight up a channel that hates a particular fighter. You know what I mean? One thing about B Marsh Boxing, man, hit that thumbs up. If you know my channel, if you know me to hate any fighter, let it be known on my channel. You know what I mean? If fellas gonna say B Marsh Boxing is a Wilder fanboy channel, they could never say that. But if they want to, they can go ahead and say that. And if they saying that off the premise that I hate Anthony Joshua, let it be known. Show me in my channel where I even be banging on the man Joshua. I don't even make videos about that guy, really and truly. Whether I like him or not. You know what I'm saying? If I ain't got nothing good to say about a fighter, you know what? I don't have to chase views. I don't have to please none of y'all fellas out here who listening to this YouTube boxing shit. I learned that shit years ago fucking with this YouTube shit. Where I lost like 37 subscribers in one day. Only because I thought it's absurd that people thought that Lomachenko has had a better resume than Floyd Mayweather at 130 pounds and can beat him. I disagree with that. People in their feelings and they unsubscribe. People probably gonna unsubscribe on this shit right here, right now. Believe you me. You unsubscribe, somebody else will subscribe. That's how the game go. You know what I mean? You check it, so that's just how it goes, man. But the hypocrisy, man, from grown men is what baffles me, and I just cannot be a part of that shit. You know what I mean? You check it. PNC, what the deal, PNC? He says to be a fanboy, what does it mean? Haha. Well, a fanboy is a channel that or a person that doesn't find any objectivity or has no criticism for any particular fighter, and they use any chance they get. They could they could talk about, for example, let's say you hate Errol Spence. You could be talking about a video about Rungvisai versus Estrada, but somehow, some way, you're going to throw your visceral hate towards Errol Spence. Now that's a fan page right there, because you know the listeners you're catering to, they don't fuck with Errol Spence, and this is a chance to dig in and give shots to the man Errol Spence. You know what I mean? You check it. Errol Spence was in a great unification versus the man Terrence Crawford. I'm sorry, Sean Porter. Great unification. You know what I mean? That it wasn't exactly how I predicted it. I don't know about y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all probably thought, because really and truly, when somebody's hated, it's just real talk. This is real talk. When somebody's hated, that means that they actually have a lot of people who might revere this person. You know what I mean? Who actually exalt and praise and look up to this particular person. That's why there's a certain faction or set or crew or people who hate that person that is revered. You know what I mean? You check it. So in actuality, they actually do admire. You know what I mean? They do admire that person, even though they hate him, because they obviously affect them in some sort of way in life where they triggers them. You know what I mean? It triggers they they um they inner being to the point that they have to voice their opinion on why they hate this particular person, and they disguise it by talking about boxing talk. You know what I'm saying? I know some channels out here who came on these streets trying to appease a certain crowd, straight up and down. They try to appease a certain faction, crew, set, avenue, whatever you want to call it on these YouTube streets. You know what I mean? Yeah. Until they whole car got called. You know what I'm saying? They bluff got called, and they whole car got they whole car got yanked up. They skirt, and now they flip the script. You know what I'm saying? They flip the script. You know what I mean? That particular faction that exposed these particular YouTubers. Now all of a sudden, that particular YouTube channel doesn't get along with those people whom he tried to appease in the first place. You know what I'm saying? This shit is funny to me. You know what I mean? The shit is funny to me. You check it. When fellas get exposed, now they want to go. It's like look, man. It's like two crews in your neighborhood. You know what I mean? Let's say Avenue A versus Avenue B. A kid is in Avenue A. He wants to get down with Avenue A. You know what I'm saying? Won't get down with the set. You know what I mean? He gets his whole card pulled, gets exposed. You know what I mean? For doing some whole shit. You know what I'm saying? Now he wants to join Avenue B, and Avenue B be banging or be talking foul about Avenue A. So Slim went over to Avenue B when he tried to be and was down with Avenue A only because he got exposed for his whole shit. Goes to Avenue B and now be banging on whatever he be fucking with whatever Avenue B be talking about. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And that shit right there is look, man, this boxing shit, you ain't gotta pick no sides, you dumb motherfuckers. This is boxing. Y'all niggas don't get no paper, get no coins from none of these boxers, you know what I mean? These YouTube fanboy channels out here gotta stop that shit, you know what I'm saying? Now, you gotta call what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. Nobody should be beyond criticism or above praise, you know what I mean? But when you come out on these YouTube streets and you're very predictable, that means you only have one goal in this YouTube shit, and that's to appease a certain crowd and to gain traffic from those type of subscribers. I swear to God, I don't want them type of subscribers coming on my channel, you heard? That's what we're not gonna do. Got a particular guy, man. I mean, he's cool. But all of a sudden, he be coming on my YouTube channel, and Slim been watching my channel for a minute, you know what I'm saying? And I always replied to any comment he puts out there. But he kind of showing his true colors, you know what I mean? He's showing his true colors, and I'm not gonna say exactly what Slim has a problem with, but it seems like I could be talking about Juan Francisco Estrada, and he gonna have a problem with that particular fighter, or maybe the network he's on, or maybe his promoter. I don't know where this shit came from, man, but I'm gonna let it be known right here, right now. This ain't the page for that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta stick on the topic at hand. You know what I mean? We have to stick on the topic at hand because that's one thing I ain't gonna compromise. I'm not gonna throw my integrity out the window. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm not. That's what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna be crying, talking about fucking the zone. You know what I'm saying? And wanting the zone, or saying, or crying about Showtime possibly not putting on or having Deontay Wilder's pay-per-view fight. Who gives a fuck? I don't care if that fight is on C-SPAN. At the end of the day, what does it matter if you're gonna have access legally or illegally to the fight? I don't get it, man. Fellas be acting like they hate Wilder, but are concerned with what channel Slim he's gonna fight on. You know what I mean? I think the fake outrage, man. You know, fellas got to see the more positive aspects of life rather than coming on YouTube. And this right here ain't no rant. I'm gonna keep it all with y'all. This ain't no rant. I don't even be doing no ranting. You know what I'm saying? I don't do no ranting. That's what I don't do. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna compromise my channel not for no viewers or subscribers. I know channels I've been watching for a while, and I see they MO and who they try to appease to. And there was one particular channel, I ain't gonna call no names, you know what I'm saying? But that channel always tries to fake, try to keep a scale, try to keep a balance, like they praising so and so, but criticizing so and so. But when you criticize somebody and calling them out their name, you know what I'm saying? And even getting your facts wrong, calling, I don't know, for example, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, if you call somebody like Orlando Salido, you're trying to go in on Orlando Salido. This is an example, and you keep calling him a redneck. People gonna look at you like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? How is he a redneck? He's a Mexican, full-blooded Mexican. But when you're trying to throw shots and digs at somebody to appease a certain audience, your integrity been thrown out the window too, you know what I mean? You got no objectivity and you just a fan page, you know what I mean? And that's one thing my channel is not, you know what I'm saying? You check it. You can come on B Marsh Boxing if you can. Put it in the channel in the chat and let it be known who I've ever caped for on these YouTube streets, you know what I mean? All I do is contradict motherfuckers. Fellas talked about that. Nobody wanted to see the Luis Ortiz rematch. I sure as hell didn't cry or ask for that shit. The man beat him in the 10th round. Made that man quit on some no more shit. Yeah, but the Wilder haters were crying about that fight. Now the fight gets made, a rematch. Now they're saying that nobody wants that fight. And all types of shit. When they were saying Wilder should have lost his belt in the 7th round. How could I, as a grown man, take another grown man who's probably don't even listen back to their videos or know what the fuck they said a year, 2, 3 years ago? How could I take these people serious, man? When fellas is grown men out here who blamed Deontay Wilder for Dillian White tested positive for PEDs. These channels actually had, you see, they had when Dillian White was somehow, some way exonerated by who was it? Was it the WBC? Yeah, these channels and the audience, they clap like a motherfucker and say, "Oh, Dillian White is free. Dillian White is free. He ain't do nothing. He ain't test nothing for no positive, for no PEDs." They bigging up the WBC. They said, "Oh, he ain't get popped dirty by the WBC." But listen, what these same channels hate the WBC. They call it "We Be Crooks." They say everything about the WBC is fucked up, and that's mostly because of the champion of Wilder who holds that WBC. These same channels, they're not objective, right? They never talk about how the WBA, out of all sanctioning bodies out here, has done the most damage to boxing and has stopped undisputed fights. They never talk about that instant where the WBA stopped the undisputed fight. They never talk about how the WBA 4 years ago talked about they trying to get rid of these regular and world belts, but these things still pop up left and right all day, every day. They never talk about that shit, you know what I mean? But they talk about Wilder, we beat crooks all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? They talk about Wilder's WBC belt all day, every day. But when it came to Dillian White being exonerated by the WBC is the best thing since pants with pockets. See where the hypocrisy lies? At B Marsh Boxing is, I love to pull that shit, man. I be pulling it with fucking females, man. Females be coming talking that feminist Me Too shit, fuckery, right? They talk that feminist fuckery, right? Yeah, but then they be dancing this shit like ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. You know what I'm saying? Or they be you know, they be dancing or quoting or liking songs that basically contradict your views on being a feminist and Me Too movement shit. You know what I'm saying? I love to do that shit. I do that shit for a living, dogs. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. PNC asks, so fanboy is haters? No, a fanboy is a grown ass man out here who be caping for another grown ass man who wears no shirt. You know what I'm saying? Fellas be caping for grown ass men who come into the ring with no shirt on, man. I don't know if they looking at their pecs, their nipples. Well, I do know they was definitely very observant and were checking out Errol Spence nipples like a MF, you know what I mean? But that's what a fanboy is out here, man. And they might as well call their channels like on Twitter, Instagram, Beyonce fan page, Jay Z fan page, LeBron James fan page, Michael Jackson fan page. They might as well call their channels a fan page. You know what I mean? Real talk, because look, man, I watch boxing on Saturday night for entertainment. I don't watch it to come on back on YouTube and try gain views by criticizing what I just watched, especially if it was entertaining. These last 2 weekends have been entertaining to me, and I've watched the fights numerous times. Triple G versus Devrichenko and Errol Spence versus Sean Porter, and those fights were not a robbery. And look, maybe Triple G got exposed, taking shots to the body. You know what I'm saying? He ain't like that shit too much. But if fellas are talking about Errol Spence got exposed by Sean Porter, I want to know how. If he got exposed on the inside, didn't the man Sean Porter get clipped on the inside and get put on the canvas from close quarters? That's the thing I don't understand. How does a man get exposed but yet he won the fight? A close fight. What y'all thought that the man was gonna walk through Sean Porter? If that's what y'all did, y'all thought you guys actually have hold these guys that you hate in high regard, like you do Wilder. I know this, man. They blamed Wilder for Luis Ortiz for Andy Ruiz losing. I mean beating Anthony Joshua. That's what it came down to. And I heard this shit. I can't make this shit up, man. I cannot make this shit up straight up and down. You know what I mean? Now I haven't heard nothing egregious like Errol Spence's accident is a way for him to duck Terrence Crawford. Maybe there's somebody out there who's talking that goofy nut ass shit. I don't know, but from what I haven't heard nothing egregious like that. But when it comes to Wilder, I guess because Wilder isn't in no damn near fatal situation, maybe people are not. You know what I'm saying? That's why people are talking crazy. You know what I mean? Like I said, after Andy Ruiz beat AJ, it probably took about 2 to 3 weeks where the Wilder slander and all that shit was out the window. Nobody was talking that greasy shit because there's no way as a AJ fan you can, you know what I mean? But fellas could only compose their emotions for so long, you know what I'm saying? After 3 weeks, I guess they got tired of even slightly giving Deontay Wilder any kind of, and I don't want to say praise, but any kind of non-criticism, you know what I mean? Yeah, after 3 weeks, that shit was out the window. Now they started blaming Wilder. You know what I mean? These same channels will talk about nobody has to sign to a particular network to get a fight. They say that. They say that, especially in the case for Terrence Crawford. He doesn't have to sign to PBC to get a fight with Errol Spence, and I agree wholeheartedly, 100%. He does not have to sign with PBC to, to get a fight. But these same channels, right? These same channels, they want the man Wilder to sign his life away. 4 fight deal for 120 million, whatever they said. They want him to go over there to the zone to have a 4 fight deal just in order to get an Anthony Joshua fight. I thought that they said that nobody has to go to any particular channel or network to get a fight with the fighter on the opposite side of the network. You see where the hypocrisy lies, and they be contradicting themselves. Like I said, man, change your names into fan pages. You know what I'm saying? with that particular fighter y'all be caping for. And them fellas out there who be talking about Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, that came on these factions out there, that particular faction, you know, I also peep what it's all about. You see, that other the faction, the organization that is doing their thing on these YouTube streets. They doing their thing, and there's nobody who can deny that. You know what I mean? Opposing channels who hate that particular faction that's doing their thing, that even gets personal interviews with Deontay Wilder. Opposing factions hate these guys, right? They hate these channels. You know what I mean? They hate these channels so much that whatever they talk about, they gotta go against. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's crazy how somebody could accuse another channel of being a fan page or doing this that basically being non-objective to particular fighters and calling them a fan page when they go on their channel then they do the opposite. If you're a fan page for Deontay Wilder, I'm gonna be a fan page for AJ, and I'm gonna call Wilder all kinds of names only because you guys call AJ all kind of names. You see what kind of little ass little boy mentality that is? At the end of the day, y'all fellas out here caping for these fighters. Y'all niggas gonna take a bullet for them. That's what y'all gonna do. That's basically what you're saying. But you probably won't in real life. But you're trying to show these fans who do support these fighters, man, I'll take a bullet for Anthony Joshua. I'll take a bullet for him. I don't care. I don't care. I got a wife and kids, but I don't care. AJ's more important. And vice versa. Deontay Wilder, I'll take a bullet for him. He's more important. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, they never talk about how the WBA is the one who stopped that undisputed fight. No, but they like to call We Be Crooks, right? They call WBC We Be Crooks because Wilder holds that belt, right? Yeah, yeah. But they praise the WBC for exonerating a drug cheat like a predicate, repeat offender drug cheat like Dillian White. I'm not a dummy, man. I see all through that bullshit. Set shot, what the deal, man? He says these weirdos have favorite promoters, even. Exactly. Ooh, man. I seen channels who defended when Barry Hearn, Eddie Hearn's pops, said some type of slave shit to the man Dillian White. They defended that. And these are black channels, my guy. These are black channels that tried to say or tried to make give us basically an illustration and a reason why Barry White said that. There was no context of what he said that should have even been mentioned to Dillian White, let alone to his face. I would have flipped that motherfucking table like Derek Chisora, and I would have aimed it straight up on that cracker's head. I'm not playing with you, dogs. I'm not playing, man. One of the last times I got into a fight in real life was on some a white boy at the basketball court saying some racist shit. And I'm not gonna lie, I called the guy a cracker first. I did. But that's because this guy, I know him deep down. We were playing basketball, but I know your history. And he was really trying to do some dirty, foul shit. And I wasn't having it. Hey, we got called him what I called him. He called me what he called me, the N word, and we got it popping right there. You know what I mean? You check it. I seen his brother years after. His brother was a good basketball player. He wasn't about that stupid shit. But the younger brother who was about my age, he had a history. You know what I'm saying? And I was waiting for it. You know what I mean? I'd have done the same thing if I was the man Dillian White. You know what I mean? But there's some channels who try to make excuses or give a reason why Barry White said that and where he comes from or what school or thought he came from. There's no excuse for that. There's none. And that's what I'm talking about. Why I gotta make a video to fucking explain why a white man tried to put a slave connotation on a particular fighter in his stable? Why the fuck I gotta do that? If I do, I'm gonna be chastising the guy. And if I'm not gonna be chastising him, I'm not gonna make a video at all, period. I have nobody to appease when it comes to this YouTube boxing shit, man. I can't speak my truth. I read the same articles y'all watch. I got two eyes. I got 20/20 vision. I don't wear no glasses. I watch the fights. 9 times out of 10, I watch them with the volume off. And I watch the Triple G fight with the volume off. And look, man, I had the fight a draw with the exception and Triple G winning on my scorecard by 1 point, 114, 113 because of the knockdown. I looked at that fight again, and in round two, I could probably see where it could have gone either way. And let's say I gave round two to Derevchenko, he wins on my scorecard, um, 7 rounds to 5. Am I mad at my scorecard because I saw it a draw? No. Am I going to change my scorecard? No. Do these judges, when they watch a fight in real life, in real time, the first time, get to change their scorecard for the next day to appease their YouTube fans? No. I can't do that. I won't do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep it tall with y'all. I seen maybe round two could have gone either way. And I gave it to Gennady Golovkin also because, the massive cut. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. We move on. Do I want to see a rematch? I've said it on my channel. You heard it before. I want to see a rematch between Errol Spence and Sean Porter. I want to see a rematch between Golovkin and Derevchenko. If they don't fight, I'm not going to lose no sleep. And I won't come with no fake outrage shit over here on my channel. You know what I mean? Straight up, So the contradiction and the hypocrisy from channels is ridiculous, and I won't be a part of that. And please, please, anybody listening to this live or on archives, please, even if y'all fucks with me, talk to me every day on my channel. Big up to Set Shot. Everybody who comes through, who support this channel, I salute and respect y'all. If you find me contradicting myself, please, please do not hesitate to check me. Put me in my place and ask me about, damn, B. Marsh, you said this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? Hey, man, I have no problems admitting my faults, transgressions, or anything that, that maybe I can't, okay, let me not say not control, but if I'm contradicting myself, I have no problem admitting when I have or haven't, you know what I mean? But one thing I'm not going to do is do that. So I'm not going to give nobody an opportunity to do that in real life and or on these YouTube boxing streets, you know what I mean? Straight up, You know what I'm saying? Fellas out here, man, they be caping for Terrence Crawford like a motherfucker, man. You see these type of people, and they be caping for Errol Spence. You're the type of people who could make a particular fighter not have to. I have to pick apart the shit you're saying. You know what I mean? Could make me. You could make a person stop even really supporting a particular fighter because of these goofy ass fan pages. You know what I'm saying? That shit's not fair, man. Keep things in perspective, man. Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence are 100% both to blame for that fight not happening. You know what I'm saying? It's not one person who is on the wrong or on the right, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I do personally feel right now that Errol Spence has leverage. He should be the A side. And whether they want to do a joint venture PBC on Fox, ESPN on Fox, pick your choice. You know what I'm saying? Do a joint venture for the pay-per-view, so be it, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But they both to blame as of right now for why the fight hasn't happened, and I'm not gonna play no sides. I ain't even gonna tell y'all who I think gonna win that fight. Cause at the end of the day, just because I think a particular fighter gonna win, y'all gonna try to accuse man of being a fanboy or a fan page. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm not gonna do. When the fight is approaches, or if it does happen, you will get a breakdown and prediction. Nothing more, nothing less. Shout out to Set Shop, PNC King. Big up to everybody in the chat. Thanks for hitting that thumbs up. I salute everybody who came through. And like I said, man, be true to yourself, fellas out there. Just call yourself Terrence Crawford fanboy page, Errol Spence fanboy page, Deontay Wilder fan page, Anthony Joshua fan page. Just do that for yourselves, you know what I mean? And anybody out there who is supporting their fighters, do that. Support them to the fullest because these fighters do need support. But then, these fighters, if they grown men like you are, They don't want nobody out there patting them on the back or giving them extra credit for shit they ain't do. I don't even like that type of shit in real life. I suppose and I hope these guys who have a moral, who have a backbone, these fighters, they don't need nobody patting their back. You know what I'm saying? Some of you fans out there have more heart and more courage than these particular fighters, and that's the truth. The Anthony Joshua fans, they world came crashing down because all that rah-rah shit they was talking, and Deontay Wilder is still standing with his straps. Things may change on December 7th, but one thing for sure, two things for certain. Deontay Wilder's world ain't come spiraling down the drain, getting flushed down the toilet, like some of you Anthony Joshua fans and Anthony Joshua's life did. And that's what it comes down to, and I know that shit hurts y'all like a motherfucker, you know what I mean? So do what's best. You want to retaliate? You want to rebuke this? You want to have a rebuttal? Be my guest. But first and foremost, address yourself as an Anthony Joshua fan page, Terrence Crawford fan page, Errol Spence fan page, whomever fan page, before you come and fuck with Talk with B Marsh Boxing. I'm gone.